Yo, how's it going, guys and girls? My name's Chris and welcome to my channel, CSM Investing. Before we get into anything, I thought I'd just address the state of my hair and why I've got a hairband in it. I'm trying to grow it out, trying to see what it looks like. If it don't look right, I'll cut it, but at the moment, let's just ignore the fact that I've got, a girl's accessory in my hair. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about investing as a beginner. I thought about bringing up this topic as I see it all over the internet that people want to get into it but just don't know how or where to start. I will begin by telling you how to actually start investing. So meaning, let's just get down to the nitty gritty of it because that's obviously why you're here. But then after that, I will tell you my personal favourite things to invest and why I invest in them. Hopefully, if you stick with this for a long enough period of time and you save up your money by not splurging on ridiculous things, then you might be able to buy that Tesla Roadster that you've always wanted without even breaking the bank. And doesn't that sound nice? Now, if you don't believe this could happen and you just sat there thinking, what the hell is this guy on about? He's an absolute muppet. He doesn't have a clue what he's talking about. If you took $280 per month, compounded at 7% return over 30 years, you would have $368,863.31. So there it is. If you want to learn how to do this, stick with me and I'll show you how. But before we get into that, please do realise that with investing, there is risk and you could end up losing money, which no one wants, but it could happen. Yes, we could look back at the S&P 500 and see that over a long period of time, it has done very well. But in the short term, it tends to fluctuate like crazy. And with your initial investment, you could be down or even just breaking even over a short amount of years. So as a disclaimer, it can be risky to invest, but the best way to put it is time in the market is better than timing the market. This means that it has to become a habit, a consistent habit, just like combing your hair, or if you're bold, waxing up that bad boy. Now, I'm only joking, but seriously, consistency is key to increasing your gains. While we're here, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let's jump into it. Now, the first and main thing I suggest is getting involved in index funds. 1. As they're easy to use and you can be set up within minutes, I suggest using platforms like Vanguard or Fidelity as they have the cheapest fees, and when it comes to being simple, this is the best option. 2. They provide great returns, and it has been shown from studies that the index funds beat actively managed funds. So for the best results, investing in index funds are the clear winner. My favourite reason is the fact that they take very little effort to manage, as you can see where all your money is going. So instead of trying to time the market for when you should get in or get out with index funds, all you have to do is buy and hold for a long period of time. Now, if Warren Buffett, the godfather of investing, advocates index funds, then who am I to argue? Since I've shown you why you should be investing in index funds, now I think it's about time I tell you what they actually are. So, an index fund is a portfolio of certain investments that you can buy into, and then from that you will end up owning a small percentage of all of them investments. This is an amazing way for your overall portfolio to become diversified. An example will be buying the entire S&P 500 for the low price of $354.39. And an amazing thing is that over the last 100 years, this stock has seen an annual return of around 7.5%. Obviously, this is with dividends reinvested and it adjusted with inflation. Now, personally, when it comes to index funds, I am currently invested in the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies in America. I'm also invested in the FTSE 100, which is the top 100 companies in the UK, and I invest in the Life Strategy 100% equity fund, which is a combination of multiple individual index funds in one fund portfolio. This basically gives me access to thousands of shares and bonds in one single investment. Now, not everything here is all sunshines and rainbows. With the good, there has to be some bad, but not much though. If you haven't got the patience, then index funds aren't for you. It is not a get-rich-quick situation. And if you want that, then I suggest going to 888 Casino or Betfred. But with index funds, it's more of a waiting game. And because obviously this isn't an actively managed investment, you're at the hands of the overall market. So you basically have no control over what's going on. So yeah, as it shows, this type of investment is for anyone who wants to take that more passive approach instead of hands-on. And if you're looking for a good return, then take a look into index funds. Now, the next great investment that should be looked into is real estate. At this current time, I'm not invested in the property sector, but I am very much wanting to break into it, as I know it has many perks. This type of investment is a lot more risky and time consuming than just investing in an index fund. You have to qualify for a loan from the bank, which means you have to improve your credit score and put down a minimum deposit of 10%. I definitely recommend putting down more than 10%. But if you learn and put in the effort and watch this beautiful thing grow, there is a lot of potential to make a bundle of money. If it was me, my strategy going into buying real estate would be buy an undervalued property. This way you're able to make more money on it. And then if you do this, you can literally make an instant profit. So put it this way, if you buy a property for $350,000, but the property is actually worth $400,000, then you've technically just made $50,000 in equity just for buying the property. Then make sure that you're buying a property that's in an area that is appreciating. That way, in the next 10 years, the price of your property will go up. So what I suggest for the UK investor is to get a 10-year fixed rate loan, and then 6 months before that ends, go and change it and find a better rate. Now, for if there's any American investors that are watching, you can get a 30-year fixed rate loan at a low rate, obviously. Another suggestion is to fix up the property so that once you've finished doing that, the property is then worth more. Then it's finally time to rent out your property. While you're renting out your home, make sure that there's a monthly cash flow so that you're constantly making money. You don't want to be basically owing money. You want that other person to basically pay off your mortgage. And then last but not least, repeat the process over and over, milk it. Just remember, in high quality areas, you should see your property go up in appreciation each year, which in turn increases your net worth. As I said, I'm currently not invested in real estate, but I have done quite a bit of research on the topic. So don't just take my advice, go do your own research. If you're living within the UK, I suggest this amazing guy who I watch religiously. His name's Jamie York, top-notch lad, and he knows a lot more than I do. Now, if you're living in America and you don't know who Graham Stephan is, you've obviously been living under a rock. Another great lad, defo suggest watching him. The third option is within individual stocks. This at the moment is where a majority of my money is going, and I love to see it on red days because it literally reminds me of when I was little and my mum used to drag me to the Black Friday sales. That's how I feel when that happens. It's amazing. But in all seriousness, this is a great way to increase your income. So the way that it works is you basically invest in a company like Tesla or Google, and you can turn around to your mate and be like, I'm invested in one of these massive companies or one of these amazing up and coming companies. When compared to index funds, this is a whole different ballpark. It is a lot riskier, as you're basically relying on a company to do well. And if that company isn't doing well, then you're gonna lose money. So always make sure to do your research. Put it this way, according to Trading 212, if you had invested in Tesla this time last year, you would have been up over 330%, which is obviously way better returns than the index funds. But as I've said previously, this is a lot riskier. This could have easily gone the opposite way and you could have lost all your money and then some. So don't always think that it's going to work out. Yes, some stocks might absolutely shoot to the moon, as people say, but then if it doesn't work out, don't be emotionally invested. A quick disclaimer is that although I do invest in the stock market, I only invest money that I am willing to lose. That way, it involves a lot less emotion. That way it's not gambling. An amazing free platform to use is Trading 212. That's for people in the UK. So if you want to get a free stock on behalf of them, click the link in the description. Who doesn't love free money? Lastly, and the most important one of them all, that everyone who's watching this, or everyone in the world actually, should be doing, especially if they want to make fat stacks. Yeah? That's investing in yourself. Now I know that sounds cliche and such an ugh excuse just to get this video over 10 minutes, but seriously, this is the one that I would say to anyone and everyone to do in order to be successful. And if you don't, I guarantee in 10 years you'll be sat there in the exact same position that you are, thinking,
I wish I listened to this guy on YouTube that one time. Oh, he was telling me to put myself first, but I never.
And that's why you're still broke. If you want to take this seriously, go out and buy yourself a book. Go and travel. Learn from new people. Obviously, in the UK, wait until lockdown's finished, but experience new things. Seriously, it would be the best for you, best thing you'd ever done. You could even take courses in something that you'd never think you'd ever do, just to expand outside of your comfort zone. Time is the most valuable thing, and if you're not using it productively, then what are you doing? It's never too late to start something new. Now guys and girls, they were my 4 favourite types of investments. I hope you found them useful, and even if one of you out there takes my advice, I'd feel like I'd have actually achieved something here today. And if you're going to, comment below which one you're going to take on. And my last notes are to just start as soon as possible. As Napoleon Hill once said, procrastination is one of the most common causes of failure. I'm Chris, and thanks for coming to my channel. Peace.